The apology that never comes. Why Black women must heal anyway. You know what nobody prepares you for. The realization that the apology you've been waiting for isn't coming. Not today, not next week, not ever. You're standing there, heart in hand, replaying conversations in your mind, convinced that if you just wait a little longer, if you're just patient enough, they'll finally see what they did to you. They'll acknowledge the pain, they'll say sorry. And then finally, you can heal. Except that's not how healing works. And waiting for permission to be whole is like waiting for rain in a drought while standing next to a perfectly good well. I had the extraordinary privilege of sitting down with Tanishia Taylor on the Soft Girl Era podcast. And let me tell you, this woman is doing revolutionary work. Tanisha is out here changing the narrative for Black women, especially those of us who've been taught that strength means silence, that healing requires validation, and that we can't move forward until someone else gives us permission. She's helping high achieving, cape wearing, everybody's go to sisters understand that our healing doesn't wait for an apology. It doesn't need one. And it certainly doesn't require approval from the people who hurt us. Tanisha's message isn't just important, it's life saving because for too long, Black women have been taught to carry pain like it's part of our uniform. We've been conditioned to believe that asking for rest is weakness, that vulnerability is failure, and that healing can only happen after someone acknowledges what they did to us. But here's the truth Tanisha is spreading across communities, therapy rooms, and podcasts. Healing is your birthright. No cosigner needed, no apology required. You get to be whole simply because you decided you're worth it. Let me break down the three most powerful insights from our conversation, the ones that should stick to your soul like honey on warm bread. First, healing doesn't wait for an apology. So release the hurt to reclaim your power. You don't need their acknowledgement. You don't need them to suddenly develop a conscience and show up with flowers and a tearful confession. What you need is to decide that your peace matters more than their accountability. And let me be clear, this isn't about letting them off the hook. This is about letting yourself off the hook of waiting. Because while you're standing there holding on to that pain like it's a winning lottery ticket, they're out here living their best life. They're not thinking about you, they're not losing sleep. They've moved on, and you deserve to move on too. Second, victim mode traps you, but survivor mode frees you through self compassion and culturally grounded therapy. There's a critical difference between being a victim and living in victim mode. Being a victim is what happened to you. It's the trauma, the abuse, the betrayal, the abandonment. That's real. That's valid. But living in victim mode, that's what happens when you let that pain define every choice, every relationship, every breath you take. Survivor mode is when you say, I went through hell and I'm still here and I'm going to thrive anyway. And culturally grounded therapy, the kind that understands our unique struggles as Black women, the kind that acknowledges the weight of gendered racism, historical trauma, and the superwoman schema. That's the bridge between the two. Third, Black women thrive by feeling fully, resting unapologetically, and leaning on community without the strong Black woman mask. We've been taught to be strong, to hold it together, to never let them see us sweat. But that mask, it's suffocating us. Tanisha reminded me that softness is not weakness, rest is not laziness, vulnerability is not failure. Black women thrive when we give ourselves permission to feel everything, to rest without guilt, and to lean on our sisters without shame. Now, let me show you what this looks like in real life because theory is beautiful, but practice is where transformation happens. Think about Chalice Nelson. She's a Black woman therapist who saw something that so many of us experience but rarely name: cognitive dissonance and dissociation from layered traumas. She watched Black women navigate historical traumas and societal expectations while being forced into survival mode, a mode where we can't even access our own emotions. So, Chalice created expressive arts therapy workshops specifically designed for Black women. She implemented techniques to build awareness, foster emotional release, and help women reframe their pain without needing external validation. And the results? Women started transitioning from suppression to authentic feeling and healing. They shattered silence. They wielded art to voice pain and rebirth, like phoenix feathers rising from ash. Chalice's work empowers therapists and communities with tools to center Black women's emotions, reducing stigma and promoting collective healing in mental health spaces. That's healing without an apology. That's what survivor mode looks like. Then there are the thousands of Black women participating in telehealth therapy programs, including internet based cognitive behavioral therapy studied by Harvard Medical School, addressing insomnia, anxiety, and depression tied to systemic trauma. These sisters were carrying disproportionate mental health burdens: poor sleep, gendered racism, stigma, healthcare barriers, all of it trapping them in unhealed cycles. But culturally competent online therapy allowed them something radical: vulnerability, emotional expression, and rest without the pressure to hustle or perform publicly. The outcomes? Proven reductions in depressive symptoms, improved sleep, empowerment to feel and heal independently. Thousands of women broke free from insomnia's chains, reclaiming their nights for renewal. Warriors awakening with unburdened hearts. This work is revolutionizing access for Black women, proving that therapy builds survivor resilience and influencing policy for stigma free, home based mental health care. That's what it looks like when Black women prioritize themselves without waiting for permission. And then there are the older Black women who experienced homelessness, now rebuilding their lives in permanent supportive housing with trauma informed care. These women endured lifelong gender violence, racism, and sexism. Homelessness and compounded traumas eroded their sense of control, keeping them in survival mode without apologies or justice from those who harmed them. But trauma informed care environments with co designed therapeutic recreation activities fostered something they hadn't experienced in years: belonging, peer support, and skill building for empowerment. They shifted from surviving to thriving. They gained a valued sense of self and life through safety and community. They forged friendships. They led peer roles. They pursued passions. Like queens crowning themselves in circles of shared strength. This work models scalable pathways for underserved Black women, expanding trauma informed systems to affirm inherent worth in societal healing. That's transcending trauma without offender accountability. That's choosing to heal anyway. These stories aren't abstract, they're mirrors. They reflect what so many of us have been through: abuse, betrayal, lies, abandonment. And yet, like the song says, we're still standing. Our sisters are survivors in the making, and so are you. So, what do you do with this information? What's the one thing you can do today to step into survivor mode? Start a 5-minute daily ritual. Feel the hurt fully. Don't push it down. Don't numb it. Don't pretend it's not there. Journal it out. Let it flow onto the page, messy and raw and real. Then say this out loud: I heal without your sorry. No more waiting. No more holding your breath for closure that may never come. You are your own closure. You are your own permission slip. You are your own validation. And here's what I want you to feel right now: I want you to feel raw relief, like a deep breath after holding pain too long. That exhale when you finally admit the truth to yourself. And by the time we're done here, I want you to feel fierce hope and unbreakable strength, ready to rise, ready to choose softness over survival mode, ready to protect your peace as a practice, not a privilege. Because here's the thing about the soft girl era, and this is what Tanisha embodies so beautifully. It's not about being weak or passive or letting people walk all over you. It's about being so secure in who you are that you don't need to prove your strength anymore. It's about releasing the cape, redefining what strength looks like, and embracing softness as the radical act of self love it truly is. You don't owe anyone your pain. You don't owe anyone your story. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're choosing peace over chaos, rest over hustle, healing over waiting. Tanisha Taylor is out here reminding Black women that we are worthy of healing right now, not when someone finally says sorry, not when we've earned enough degrees or dollars or respect, right now, as we are, imperfect, exhausted, still processing, still growing. And that's the work. That's the sacred pause. That's the lifestyle rebellion. So here's my challenge to you, to every Black woman listening, to every sister who's been holding it together for everyone else, to every queen who's tired of wearing the cape. Your soft girl era is waiting for you. It's not a destination, it's a decision to feel fully, rest unapologetically, and lean on community without the mask. Stop waiting for the apology. Stop waiting for validation. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to be whole. Start your 5-minute ritual today. Write it down, say it out loud. I heal without your sorry. And then live like you mean it. Because healing is your birthright. No permission required, no apology necessary. You rise because you decided to. And that, my sisters, is the most powerful thing in the world.